being real quiet this morning because I'm the first one up. I'm back home from Mississippi after a rather horrible 2 days attempt at flying and many mistakes by American Airlines, just to give you fair warning. Anyway, but I'm back home. I'm about to make breakfast, and I thought this week, since my sweet grandson is sleeping in my studio and I can't do anything in there, this week I'll just show you what we're going to do each day. This morning, I'm making blueberry pancakes. And let me show you the blueberries that my son and daughter-in-law brought from West Virginia. My brother and his wife have a wonderful, and have had for 25 years, pick your own blueberry farm in West Virginia. It's called White Oak Farm. Look at the size of that blueberry. You don't find that much at Walmart, I guess. These are fresh picked, probably yesterday, maybe the day before. So these will be in our pancakes this morning. Aren't they beautiful? I'll pick out the ones that aren't quite right, like that one. They really should be very dark blue. I'm not wild about blueberries like some people are, but I've learned over the years from my brother and sister-in-law what to look for in a very ripe blueberry. They should almost have that blue-black look. That's a pretty good one, I think. So here is my pancake recipe. In case you missed it before, I'm doing a big recipe here. This is going to be 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and then about 1 scoop, that's about 1/4 cup of sugar, maybe a little less. And then you want some good fresh baking powder. I put 1 tablespoon for each cup of flour, so that's 3 level tablespoons. That's a lot. And then some salt. I think I put about 1 teaspoon in this time. To that, we're going to put the milk after we stir it up. Oh, no, I want to show you my cast iron pan. I got this over 40 years ago. It was used then from a thrift store near Dollywood, then Silver Dollar City. Okay, so I never put in all the milk. You're supposed to do 1 cup for each cup of flour, so that would be 3 cups this time, but I take out about 1/4 cup and add it later, and then 3 eggs, so 1 egg for each cup of flour. And then I just eyeball the milk. That's probably 1/4 cup of milk. No, I'm not milk, oil. I apologize, oil. Now, I made the mistake of using this whisk, and of course, that seems to just turn to concrete in the middle of it. If you're doing a smaller batch, it might work. Oh, there he is. He is ready for some breakfast. Apologize for the thumb. Anyway, I had to scrape all that out and get myself a different whisk. And I'm going to add a little bit more milk because it's a little bit too stiff. But then I can pour the rest of that back into the gallon. And because you can't take it back out. Yes, this whisk worked a lot better. I like that one. And that's about the right consistency, and you can see it's already making some bubbles. That's good. The baking powder is working. I put the blueberries in after I pour the batter in, and then I gently cover up each one, flip it over. I've gotten to be quite adept at flipping a pancake over the last 40 years. There's the second one. They were quite a hit, very fluffy, lovely. My son does a lot of projects when he comes in the summer, and today he is working on this window on our back porch that was about to fall out. So here he is in the window working on that. Boy, it's a blessing to have that tied again. Now, Adam, meanwhile, was making us lunch. He made shish kebabs that he put onto skewers and then onto the rotisserie turner on our outdoor grill. Now that was some kind of, I think that was a sirloin that he chopped up. It's got zucchini, onions, and corn. And then he has to attach each skewer to this thing. It's not easy, but he gets a kick out of doing it. Oh, and here is my son's trailer full of all the tools he brought to do the work he did. It's crazy. All right, now the skewer contraption is ready. There's even a little bratwurst he's cut up and put on there. We were all quite hungry at this point, and there he's got the grill heating up. Now he's going to mount this thing on there, and he's going to tighten it up on each end. And then he can just turn it on. It plugs in to an electrical cord and it starts to turn. And then he can put the lid on it and they cook away. It was really very fun. My son was excited about that too. And then he just slips them off of each one onto a plate. That was a very tasty lunch. The corn was wonderful. The veg was wonderful. Meat was, I had to cut it up a bit. It was a bit chewy, but so tasty. Really, really fun way to eat in the summer, isn't it? And there's the finished plate with some rice, corn, and almonds in there. Oh, now I've left the sound on this. This is the wind chime that my son made for me by hand. This was some wood he had, and he crafted the wooden pieces. He bought the pipes and cut them. He researched how long to make them for the correct tone. It's got a minor third and a seventh chord in there. It's just really cool what he did. So beautiful. I'm so excited to have this on my back deck this fall. I can't wait to sit out there and listen to it. It has beautiful tone. Well, now we're going to start working in the pasture. Now we were taking down a fence, and when I say we, I really mean my son and a little bit my daughter-in-law. And he pulled out the first half of this fence that divides our big pasture from that property on the left over there is what we call the orchard. And we wanted the fence out so we could mow better. And he pulled this section out. The posts were just old and rotted. See, look at that. They were in terrible condition. And so the night before, he pulled half of it out so easily, he really thought the second half would go even more easily. But all of the metal, there was 4x4 welded wire, 2x4 welded wire, and chicken wire all together in this fence down here, and it's all entangled in vines, grapevines and all other kind of vines, prickles and brambles, and this is not easy to pull out. He was using the car and some rope he had brought from Harbor Freight, but the rope kept on snapping under the pressure. See, we got all of this fence down here to go, and it does seem to get thicker as you go down. And then there's just lots of metal on the ground down here. And that was his goal, was to take all of that out. So here's his wife. Pull, 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 snap. And that happened over and over again. Finally, we got some new rope. She's expecting a baby, too. Dogs! That's Adam and John calling for the dogs. This is the fencing that we're talking about, and how just how old and matted and nasty it is. He worked so hard on this, and we appreciate it so much. So I think finally he ended up cutting it. Oh, there they're trying again. And then we tried from a different direction. Now this is still that old rope. Eventually we went to Walmart and bought some much heavier rope that worked better. But he's trying the other half from that direction.
Oh, well that's
what a mess. And there's also barbed wire in there. Now this is the rope that did not work well. Anyway, time to cook. I think this must be the second day. Adam made some chicken with masala, curry masala, chicken masala, whatever. That was quite yummy. Very good gravy. There is his homemade dressing, a raspberry vinaigrette. And here's the finished plate. We had that rice again with some gravy, more corn, lovely fresh food, eating healthy. And we had a rainbow. That's the field across the street. We had very good dog support all week long. Well, he got the fence down, and the next day he went back to work on the next row of fencing behind that fence. This is why it was so bad. This is a grapevine arbor, I guess you could call it. And he's just taking he has this weed eater with a metal blade on it, and he's just cutting through everything. And we started a bonfire right there to burn everything, and we told him to just cut everything in that orchard, all of the trees except for the big pear tree, and he did. Look at that. Look at that. That what we call the orchard is now open, and Adam can mow it easily. We'd love to get those metal posts out of there. One of them just broke off right there. We didn't get that whole pile burnt because the rain started, and everything was very green, so it was not easy to burn. There was another tree behind the barn that's laying on the fence, and he went back and worked a lot on that. The stump is still there, but he got all of that of the tree done out. And here's our pasture. It's looking better, and we are so thankful for his help and his wife's help, our daughter-in-law. They are both gems. Well, that's our week so far. It's been a big week. Last week was a big week, and we have another week of family fun coming up with more grandchildren and kids and family visiting and friends. So I wanted to show you one last thing that Adam has been up to in his sewing shack, which is our new name for it. He's been making capes for the grandchildren because they're all about the same age, within, a couple of years. So this is the first cape. I think this is the first one he made. It's lined. It has a little Velcro collar tab here that comes apart. So it's very adjustable, which is nice as they grow, and they can do it themselves. And he put a little collar on it. It's got the fabric underneath and the liner on top. And I'll show you close-ups of the other little capes as I talk, okay? But it has been a wonderful week. Our son did so much work out in the pasture and in the orchard, as we call it, where we have a big pear tree. And we used to have apple trees, but they haven't really made it. And we're very thankful for that. And then today, he and his wife are off on a little break. Look at that. Isn't that the cutest? Look at that fabric. It's great. Has the same tab, same shape. He says this is the same shape of cape that they had kind of in the Civil War, that the soldiers or somebody wore, where it's a little bit longer in the back and drapes nicely over the shoulders. This one has little doggies on it. Isn't that cute? And they can wear the collar standing up or laying down, either way that they like it. Anyway, in our family, we think it's really important for parents to have a break away from their children, and for married couples to have a break where they can kind of go rest and remember why they fell in love, and have some time together. So we are happy to babysit a little bit overnight, and our grandson is very content here with us, which is lovely. And look at this one. This one has, look, lots of birds. Isn't that beautiful? That's really nice fabric. So, fun, fun, fun. All right. Well, I'll catch up with you next week, and I'll probably share with you some more of the family fun we're going to have next week. And after that, about the middle of July, I will start on my usual summer craft extravaganza, where I spend the whole summer inside out of the oppressive heat in what I call my summer hibernation. And I do lots of spinning, and I'm going to do lots of sewing. The little grandson who's here right now, I'm going to be making him a quilt like I did before. All right, guys, stay cool, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.